Hi there, I'm Zvi Lebekin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring that little belly thing so you get notifications when new videos drop. And there are going to be a bunch of them this week. And I am all of a quiver because I just watched Game of Thrones and it was so good! Okay, there's going to be spoilers. There's going to be lots of spoilers because I cannot contain myself. So if you don't want spoilers, run away now. But virtually no plot move forward this episode, so even if you do watch the whole thing, you're not going to get any plot spoilers because there really weren't that many. This week, Game of Thrones does what it does so incredibly well, which was deliver fantastic character moment after fantastic character moment. The other thing Game of Thrones does incredibly well is, of course, epic battles, which I think we're going to get next week. But this week it was completely character driven and it was wonderful. It paid off character moments they've been building up for literally the entire run. The entire 7 years has been building to this, and I think it's one of the best build-ups to an epic battle that's ever been put on film. It's at least as good as, or maybe surpasses, the build-up to the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. What movie was that? The Two Towers. Yeah, I think it's about that because we've been with these characters for like years and years, and we've seen them grow up. Okay, so spoilers now. You don't want spoilers? Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! Okay, there's just so much good stuff. Okay, let's start with Sansa. Sansa's now in a cool like battle dress, and Jaime Lannister is doing a full act of contrition so he can come and fight for the living. And we see his good deeds throughout the series come to rescue him in the form of Brienne, who he saved from being defiled at the cost of his own hand, and he's generally shown honor throughout the series, moving from like this rather horrible, arrogant character to somebody you care about, which is, again, Game of Thrones just makes you care about everyone, or makes you hate them intently. But Jaime's arc in this episode really intersected beautifully with Brienne's arc, and it culminated. It actually brought tears to my eyes. It really did. This episode made me tear up quite a few times because it was, oh god, it just paid off everything so well. But the scene I'm talking about is when, well, firstly he asked to serve underneath her. But then that built up towards the end where Jaime knighted her, realizing her lifelong ambitions and dreams. Oh, it was beautiful. Arya Stark said hello to the Hound again, but more importantly, she lost her virginity to Gendry. So I guess if she's pregnant, she'll also have King's blood in her, in her children. I know, more touching than that, though surprisingly more touching than that, because I thought that was actually kind of really a major point for the character and for the series. But more touching than that, I thought, was Grey Worm's and Missandei's scenes where they're talking about the future. She wants to go to Narth, and that's not a good idea. Don't have a sweet moment about talking about the future in Game of Thrones. If you're English, it's kind of like being in the soap EastEnders and being in Albert Square on Christmas Day. Something you don't want to do. Samwell Tarly had a great moment where he gave Jorah Mormont his family sword of Valyrian steel, and I think actually Jorah had some great moments when he defended Tyrion Lannister to Daenerys, but there's a lovely great scene with him and what was her name, Lyanna Mormont, and I really hope we see them together on the battlefield next week. The heart of the episode was the fireside vigil with Jaime Lannister, Tyrion Lannister, Podrick, Tormund, Sir Davos Seaworth, and of course Brienne. And it was all just slowly ratcheting up the tension ratcheting up for an entire hour. And it's just agonizing. Now we've got to wait another week, and it's just agonizing. There was just enough time for Jon Snow to mention his real parentage to Daenerys. Didn't take it so well, but they got distracted by the Night King showing up with his army of White Walkers. And there's so many of them! Oh my god, it's going to be fantastic. So 1 week to go before the Battle of Winterfell, where there's going to be lots and lots of crazy heroics and gut-wrenching deaths. Oh, it's coming. In general, I guess we're 33% through the season, 33.3% through the season. So season 8 so far has fixed the pacing issues that beset season 7. This is just an aside, but why couldn't they have just made that 10 episodes. It would have breathed so much better and would have fixed all the issues that made that season somewhat disappointing. They could have had a whole extra episode smuggling Tyrion Lannister into King's Landing for that meeting, and they could have schlepped out the Jon Snow's expedition up north. So they cut the episode when they're on the little island surrounded by the dead, and then you could have had a whole episode with Gendry running back, for a whole episode running back to the wall and sending the Raven, and you went in to cut that with some intrigue with Cersei or Littlefinger with lots of scheming, and the episode could have ended with Daenerys flying off in a dragon to save Jon. So that and then you would have had basically 10 episodes, and it would have worked so much better. But alas, that was not to be. So here we are, next week. Next week's a big one. Please, as I said, like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell to get notifications. See you next week. Same Rabbi channel, same Rabbi time. I have been Sri Lebekin, the Rabbi from another planet.